Welcome to another Kevin's English School's English learning video. Are you familiar with the term ROI? How about B2B or B2C? Welcome to a world where words like these are the keys to understanding the language of business. Business English vocabulary is a gateway, a bridge that connects you to the world of commerce. It's a language filled with terms like stakeholder, benchmarking, synergy, and leverage, which we will be demystifying today. So, let's dive in and unlock this language together. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of these terms and more. First, let's dive into the term ROI, which stands for return on investment. Now, you might wonder, what exactly does this mean? Well, imagine you're planting a seed in a garden. You tenderly care for it, nurture it, give it all the things it needs to grow: water, sunlight, and nutrients. This is your investment, the time, effort, and resources you've put into growing this plant. Then, one day, the plant sprouts and grows into a beautiful tree. It bears fruits, providing you with a bountiful harvest. This is your return, the fruits that you're able to enjoy because of the seed you planted and the care you provided. In the world of business, ROI is essentially the same concept. It's the fruits you reap from the seeds you sow. But instead of seeds, water, and sunlight, you're investing money, time, and resources into your business. And instead of fruits, your return is the money you make from your investments. For example, let's say you run a small bakery. You decide to invest in a new oven that can bake more bread at once, hoping it will increase your sales. The cost of the oven is your investment. The additional profits you make by selling more bread is your return. So, if you subtract the cost of the oven from the additional profits, you get your ROI. The higher the ROI, the better, because it means you're getting more return from your investments. It's like having a tree that gives you more fruits for the same amount of care and attention. But remember, ROI isn't just about money. It can also reflect other types of returns, like increased customer satisfaction, improved product quality, or even a stronger brand image. These intangible returns might not be as easy to measure as money, but they're just as important in determining the success of your investment. So, in short, ROI is a way to measure the efficiency or profitability of an investment. Now onto B2B and B2C. These are acronyms that represent different business models. In the vibrant world of business, you'll often hear the terms B2B and B2C. They stand for business to business and business to consumer, respectively. These terms define who a business's primary customers are, shaping its approach, strategies, and operations. Let's start with B2B, or business to business. This model refers to transactions between businesses. It could be a manufacturer selling to a wholesaler, or a wholesaler selling to a retailer. The key point is that the businesses are selling to other businesses. For instance, let's imagine a company that manufactures office furniture. This company sells its products not directly to the individuals who will use them, but to other businesses such as office supply stores or corporate entities. This is a classic example of a B2B model. Moving on, we have B2C, or business to consumer. This model represents businesses selling directly to the end consumer. These are the businesses that sell products or services directly to you and me, the individual consumers. Think about your local supermarket or an online retailer. When you go to the supermarket to buy groceries, or when you order a book online, you are participating in a B2C transaction. The supermarket or the online retailer is a business selling directly to you, the consumer. It's important to note that a business can operate in both B2B and B2C models. For example, a computer hardware company might sell components to other businesses for use in their products, B2B, and also sell finished computers directly to consumers, B2C. In summary, these two acronyms, B2B and B2C, represent fundamental concepts in business. They define who a business's primary customers are and, consequently, influence its marketing strategies, operations, and overall approach. So, remember, B2B means businesses selling to other businesses, and B2C means businesses selling directly to consumers. Scene script. Ever heard of the term stakeholder? Let's break it down. Imagine you're constructing a building. It's not just you involved in this project, right? You have architects, engineers, construction workers, investors, and even the local community who will be affected by the new structure. Each of these individuals or groups who are directly or indirectly impacted by your project are what we call stakeholders. Now let's translate this concept into the business world. In business, stakeholder refers to anyone who has an interest in the success of a business. This could be anyone from the CEO and employees to the customers, suppliers, investors, and even the government. Each of these entities has a stake or an interest in the business's performance. For example, employees have a stake in the company's success because their jobs and income depend on it. Investors have a stake because they've put their money into the business, hoping it will grow and return a profit. Customers, on the other hand, are stakeholders because they rely on the business to provide a product or service. They want the business to succeed so they can continue to benefit from what it offers. It's important to understand that stakeholders can influence a business's decisions and strategies. This is because each stakeholder's interests must be considered and balanced. For instance, a decision that greatly benefits investors might not be the best for employees. A business must strive to make decisions that appease as many stakeholders as possible, ensuring its long-term survival and success. It's also worth noting that stakeholders can be internal or external. Internal stakeholders are those inside the business, like employees and managers. External stakeholders, on the other hand, are those outside the direct operations of the business, such as investors, suppliers, and the government. In conclusion, the term stakeholder is a bit like an umbrella, covering a wide range of individuals and groups. It's a vital concept in business, highlighting the interconnected nature of our economy and society. Essentially, a stakeholder is anyone who has an interest in the success of a business. Next up is benchmarking. It's a term often used in business conversations. But what does it really mean? Picture this. You're running a race, and you want to know how well you're doing. You'd naturally look at the other runners, right? Their speed, their stamina. These factors become your benchmark, your standard of comparison. Now let's take this concept and apply it to the world of business. Benchmarking in business is essentially the process of comparing your company's performance with that of your competitors or industry standards. It's like running that race, but this time, the race is about sales numbers, customer satisfaction, or any other key performance indicator that matters to your business. Let's break it down further with an easy example. Imagine you own a bakery. You make the best blueberry muffins in town, or so you think. But how do you know for sure? You benchmark. You compare your blueberry muffins to those of other bakeries in terms of price, size, taste, and customer feedback. You might even compare your muffins to the average standard for blueberry muffins in your city or country. But benchmarking isn't just about comparison. It's also about learning and improving. If your benchmarking process reveals that a competitor's muffins are more popular, you don't just shrug and move on. You analyze what they're doing differently and see if you can apply similar strategies to your own business. Maybe they're using a unique ingredient, or perhaps their marketing is more effective. Whatever the case, benchmarking helps you identify these differences and opportunities for improvement. Remember, benchmarking is not about copying your competitors. It's about understanding where you stand in the market, learning from others, and using this knowledge to improve your own performance. It's about running your own race, but with an eye on the other runners, so you can adjust your pace and strategy as needed. To sum up, benchmarking is about comparing your business performance against others to identify improvements. It's like running a race, but this time the race is about being the best in the business. Now let's discuss synergy. It's a term you'll often hear in business collaborations. Synergy, in the simplest of terms, is like a magic formula where 1 + 1 = 3 instead of 2. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? Let's break it down. In business, when we say synergy, we mean the increased effectiveness that results when 2 or more entities or components come together and work in unison rather than individually. Picture this scenario. Let's say we have 2 musicians, a guitarist and a drummer. Each one is talented and can create beautiful music on their own. However, when they decide to collaborate, they can create an even more dynamic and engaging piece of music. Their individual talents, when combined, create a unique sound that neither could achieve on their own. That's synergy. In the business world, synergy often takes place when companies merge or when teams within a company collaborate on projects. For instance, let's consider a software company and a hardware company. Both are successful in their respective fields, but if they merge, they could potentially create a product that integrates both software and hardware seamlessly, offering a superior product that neither could have developed alone. This is a classic example of business synergy. Synergy can also happen within a company when different departments collaborate. For instance, the marketing team might have great ideas for promoting a product, but it's the technical team that can provide the know-how to make these ideas a reality. When these teams work together, they can create a marketing campaign that's both innovative and technically feasible. Again, that's synergy at play. So, synergy is not just about working together, it's about creating something bigger and better that couldn't be achieved by working separately. It's about the power of collaboration and unity. It's about realizing that the whole is indeed greater than the sum of its parts. So, synergy is when the result of a collaboration is greater than the sum of what each party could achieve on their own. Finally, we have leverage. This term is used a lot in strategic planning. It might sound complex, but it's actually pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. Leverage is a business term that refers to the ability to influence a situation or people to achieve a particular outcome. It's about using resources, whether it's time, money, or even knowledge, to get the best possible results. You can think of it as a kind of multiplier that helps you get more from what you have. Let's dive into an easy example to help illustrate this concept. Imagine you're a baker, and you have a really good recipe for a cake. You could sell the cake, and that's one way to make a profit. But what if you could leverage that recipe? Instead of just selling the cake, you could use the recipe to start a baking class. You could sell the recipe to other bakers. You could write a cookbook and sell it. You could even start a franchise of bakeries using that recipe. In each case, you're using what you have, the recipe, to get more than just the profit from selling a single cake. In the business world, leverage can take many forms. Companies might leverage their brand reputation to enter new markets. They might leverage their large customer base to negotiate better deals with suppliers. They could leverage their financial resources to invest in research and development, potentially leading to new products and more profits. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Leverage can amplify your gains, but it can also amplify your losses. If our baker invests all their money in starting a franchise and it doesn't work out, they could end up losing more than they would have if they just stuck to selling cakes. In short, leverage is about using resources to maximum advantage. It's about thinking strategically, identifying opportunities, and using what you have to get more. It's a powerful tool in business, and understanding it can help you make better decisions, whether you're a baker, a CEO, or anything in between. Now that we've demystified these business English terms, it's time for a quick recap. Let's start with the first term we covered, ROI. Short for return on investment, ROI is a financial metric that's widely used to measure the probability of gaining a return from an investment. It's all about assessing the efficiency of different investments and comparing their gains. In the simplest terms, if you're seeing a positive ROI, that's a good sign. Next up, we tackled B2B and B2C. These are acronyms that stand for business to business and business to consumer, respectively. B2B refers to transactions between businesses, like a manufacturer selling to a wholesaler, while B2C refers to businesses selling directly to the end consumer. Remember, it's all about who the final buyer is. Then, we discussed the term stakeholder. A stakeholder is anyone with an interest in a company's outcome, including shareholders, employees, customers, and suppliers. They're the people who are impacted by a company's decisions, and they often have a say in those decisions as well. Following that, we examined benchmarking. This is a process of comparing your business processes and performance metrics to industry bests or best practices from other companies. The goal of benchmarking is to identify areas where you can improve and set goals to achieve those improvements. Afterwards, we delved into synergy. It's a term that refers to the concept that the value and performance of two companies combined will be greater than the sum of the separate individual parts. It's like saying 1 + 1 = 3, not 2. Synergy is often a driving force behind mergers and acquisitions. Lastly, we decoded leverage. In business, leverage usually refers to the use of borrowed funds to amplify potential returns, but it can also refer to any tool or technique used to multiply gains and potential risks. When used wisely, leverage can be a powerful tool for growth. And there you have it. From ROI to leverage, we've covered some of the most common business English terms. These are words you'll hear often in the business world, so understanding them can give you a real advantage. Remember, understanding these terms can help you navigate the business world with more confidence. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos like this.